Hi, I'm Jody Daly, and this is Let's Talk, where we talk about the things that matter, like cleaning, the good, the bad, and the antibacterial. Today, my guests are going to give us the real dirt on how we should be cleaning our environments, both at home and on the road, so don't go away.
Want to make your mealtime a little more enjoyable? Check out the ready-to-heat, ready-to-serve meals and side dishes offered at your favorite supermarket. Whether it's chilled or fresh or frozen, you can taste the cuisines of the world. And if you buy the supermarket store brands, you can be sure of quality and freshness at reasonable prices. Give them a try and add something special to mealtime.
If you look in any kitchen, bathroom, or backpack or purse, I bet you're going to find something antibacterial. Our obsessions with germs are not something new. In fact, the use of soap goes back to 2800 BC. But today's question, are we cleaning effectively? Or are we just wasting all of our elbow grease? Now, Boris, you run EcoPure, a cleaning service that uses non-traditional cleaning methods, and you say that most of us are actually making our homes dirtier when we pull out the vacuum cleaners and the dusters, right?
Yes, correct.
Norma, you're on the road a lot, and you keep the germs out of both your life and your bags in very specific ways, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And Matt, welcome back to the show. You were with us when we talked about allergies, and today we're going to talk to you about how you keep those allergies under control by keeping your house and your environment clean. I'm so glad to have you all with us. Thank you for being here. Now, Boris, I'm going to start with you. EcoPure, or is it EcoPure?
EcoPure home cleaning.
EcoPure home cleaning. You use very non-traditional methods of cleaning. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So by non-traditional, we mean we use the state-of-the-art water-based technology. And in contrast with dry vacuum cleaners, this machine actually works on water. So water is your trap for the dust, debris, and dust mites, most importantly. Whereas the vacuum cleaner, when you vacuum, you kind of keep everything in the bag or the filter, and you kind of put it there in the closet for weeks.
Now, when we first talked on the phone, Boris was telling me that when you first turn the vacuum cleaner on and you get that smell and you think it's the motor revving up, tell me what it really is.
Yeah, so that's actually the dust mites and the dust residue that comes from the exhaust of the vacuum cleaner, because the air must circulate. So when the air goes in, it must come out. So that's what you're kind of smelling, because the dust stays in the machine for weeks.
Okay, not only does the dust stay in the machine, but what else is
the dust mites?
Yeah,
the dust mites, and people actually get very allergic sometimes to the dust, and that's not actually the dust that they're allergic to; it's the dust mites, and more specifically, the feces of the dust mites.
Okie dokie. Now we're all getting into that right away. How do you feel about that, Matt?
I'm going to go home and clean right now.
with your vacuum cleaner that has all the dust mites in it?
Right.
Oh, go ahead, Myrma.
I'll never look at my vacuum the same way.
No, and that's just it. Now, you have a specific water-based vacuum cleaner. So
Right.
in the receptacle, instead of having a big bag,
Correct.
I looked up the price of those things. I can't afford one of those
Correct.
things.
Yeah, so the problem with the dry vacuum is twofold, right? So when the pores of the filter or the bag are open, you get a lot of that dust circulating, and the dust
Right.
mites fly out into the environment. Now, when the pores are closed, the vacuum cleaner doesn't pick up. So it's a lose-lose situation.
So we're all losing with regular vacuum cleaners. But anyway, there are other ways that we can keep our homes clean. Now, Matt, you have allergies.
I do.
And you also were telling me your son has allergies.
Correct.
So how do you keep your house clean and not have dust mites and things flying all over the place?
Well, apparently I'm using the wrong kind of vacuum, but I do vacuum fairly regularly, 2-3 times a week, and then stay on top of laundry and teach the kids to clean up after themselves as well.
Now, we were talking and you said that the kids even notice when they're at other people's houses. So tell us about that.
Yes, I hope they don't say that in front of other people, but they do comment.
But you just said it in front of all of us.
But they do comment how when they go over their friends' houses, it's usually not as neat and clean as our own.
Okay, so there must be a routine. Now, I have to say, I realized that when I stashed my vacuum cleaner after we talked,
Yeah.
I took everything apart. I have one of the non-canister ones.
Right.
I wiped everything out and then I put it away. Does that help?
Yeah, it certainly helps. Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
so you should clean the vacuum cleaner every time you do the vacuuming.
Do you clean your vacuum every time you use it?
I will now.
Now, you guys have routines. Everybody has a routine here. Matt, tell us about your routine to keep the, well, number one, do you do a huge big cleaning of your whole house every 2 or 3 days?
I don't. It's something I just kind of stay on top of, especially when you have young kids. They say that cleaning the house while kids are growing is like trying to shovel while it's still snowing. Really can't make a big dent in it, but every day, just a little bit, and the things that I can teach my children to do, like take their shoes off before they get in the house. I have them wash their hands. They're kind of used to that routine. Little things every day and picking up after ourselves so I can easily, quickly clean.
That's a great point because when you walk out on the street, you bring a lot of those, a lot of the feces and all the stuff that the dog and the cats and all that stuff you bring it home. So you must take your shoes off. That's absolutely right.
Okay, that's twice we've said feces on the show, and it's not even 5 minutes in. Yay. Okay, so Norma, what are some of your routines? Because you travel a lot, but you also have to keep the house clean as well.
Right. The key is not bringing things home, right? So whenever I book a hotel room, the first thing I do is I look at the bed bug report on the hotel. You can find that pretty easily online. If it's not too bad, I'll still stay at the hotel, but I check the mattress, I pull the covers down. And my big precaution, because I do travel a lot, is I never keep my suitcase in the bedroom sleeping area. I put it in the bathroom because they don't usually go in there.
Where in the bathroom?
Sometimes in the shower if there's room, or in a bathtub if it's a larger, restroom in the hotel. It depends. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You keep your I hope you check it before you turn on the shower.
I have not forgotten to check before I've taken
Now,
it
before
out.
you get on, before you leave, though, we had talked before, and you said you could keep antibacterial wipes stock.
I could. I should have stock, yeah.
So tell us about that.
So I use antibacterial wipes. You can get them at a box store, at any supermarket, any brand, and they're key to keeping things clean. When I get on a plane, I wipe down basically every surface you can possibly touch. The dirtiest thing on an airplane, I've read articles on this and I've seen studies, is the tray table.
The tray table,
The tray
not
table.
the toilet, the tray table.
So I always wipe that down, and often with my neighbor, I offer them a wipe too, and they wipe their things down too. Anything you can touch. The bathroom on the plane is actually one of the cleanest things because they clean it regularly.
And in the hotel, what do you wipe down?
Every surface I can touch. Handles. The worst, light switches, the worst thing in the hotel room, according to articles and things, is the remote control. Right. So a couple of hacks with that. If you don't have disinfectant wipes, you can take a shower cap and cover it up, or a plastic bag and cover it up where you can still see through it and work the remote.
Now that makes me think about, when you're thinking about surfaces, we think about cleaning floors and countertops and things like that, but light switches, the keyboard on your computer, do you guys clean those?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Matt?
Yeah, we regularly have one of those canisters of disinfectant wipes, and doorknobs, especially with children in the house, doorknobs, flush handles on the toilet bowl, sink handles, everything that the kids' dirty hands will touch.
I also do the gel a lot, when I'm traveling, or I live in a major city, so I figure I'm exposed to enough germs on mass transit, because there's sort of this anti-thing about using too much disinfectant, and I feel that because I'm in a major city, I'm exposed anyway. So if I'm on a plane and I'm served something, I'll use an antibacterial gel.
So basically, we're all clean freaks here, and I'm very proud of that. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some routines you can get into, some tips, and hopefully how we can keep the dust mites away from the bed bugs.
Supermarkets can get pretty confusing nowadays. So many aisles, so many products. How can you save time and money when you shop? Get into the habit of buying your store's store brands. You get the same quality as national brands and save at the cash register. No apps, no coupons, just money in your pocket. Give them a try and smile your way through the supermarket.
We're back, and we're talking about how to keep your home clean, and that it really doesn't take as much time and effort as you might think. Okay, so I want to know this, Boris. If we can't get your cleaning service, tell us about how we can organize to stay clean in our own homes.
Well,
But I would love to get your cleaning service. I just want to let you know. I just really love the idea of the way you clean.
thank you. So the most high traffic areas are probably the bathrooms and the kitchen. So you want to concentrate on those. And when you clean the surfaces, you don't want to use the sprays a lot. I mean, you can use a degrease if you need to, but most of the stuff is easier and faster cleaned with soap and water. So when we clean ourselves with a shower, right?
And
with
soap and water.
Right. So a lot of cleaning companies or traditional cleaning method is you're used to seeing people spraying and wiping with a towel.
Right.
And that's not the ideal way to clean. You want to use, for example, cabinets or the countertops, you want to use a sponge, soap, and water, and wipe it with a dry towel. So the towel is used only for detailing and wiping, not for cleaning.
Now, would that seem easier to you guys than what you normally do?
Yeah.
I think so, and it would be nice to have less chemicals in the house.
Yeah, but there are some chemicals that I absolutely love. I love a product that cleans glass, the spray that cleans glass. I love that. And I love the disinfectant wipes because it makes me feel cleaner, and they're also very easy to pull out. But I love the idea of a deep clean with just basic soap and water. What are some of your routines, Norma?
Well, that's the key. When they become routines, they get so much easier. So
good point.
when I come back from a trip, for example, the first thing I do is wrap my suitcase in clear plastic that you can get anywhere, clear, a clear plastic trash bag.
A big trash bag.
Yeah, and I tie it tight. And that way I know if I got a bed bug, and sometimes you can get them on the plane, or if it happened on the plane rather than the hotel, it's sealed. And I know that
You do take your dirty laundry out of there first, right?
I do.
Okay, good.
I do.
Just
and
want to make
I
sure.
wrap that tight, and I do it either the next day or take my clothes to the cleaners, whatever. Right?
Okay.
And this method has proved. One time, I actually was taking my suitcase down after I hadn't traveled for a couple of months, and there was a bed bug that I could see through the clear plastic, and I know, pretty sure that I got it on the plane.
It was dead, right?
It was dead.
Oh, good. Glad to hear.
But thank goodness, right? So that's something that my whole family does that now. We just wrap the bags. It's part of when we come home. Clothes go in a bag. Suitcase
So
goes
it's
in
a
a bag.
big, clear trash bag.
Yes, and you can get it anywhere.
Okay, perfect. Now, what are some of your routines that you've made the kids get together with, Anya?
Well, other than cleaning up for them after themselves,
Well,
not
what do you
leaving.
mean other than cleaning up? I don't clean up after myself, so go ahead.
Well, I've tried to train them to do that, not to leave laundry all over the place and toys all over the place. Of course, it's a work in progress, but the neater the house is in that regard, the easier it is to clean the carpets and to clean the hardwood floors because there's not a lot of stuff around. And then, as I mentioned, washing hands, taking shoes off, and kitchen towels, they get dirty after a day or so with use in the kitchen, wiping up spills and food. So every couple of days, they go right in the laundry.
How much do people use towels versus paper towels? I'm a huge paper towel
We do use
freak.
paper
Love
towels
paper
for the majority of the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because I find that I leave my hand towels and things, and I change my hand towels every day from the bathroom. And we just got a new hand towel dispenser, so now they're all fresh hand towels. Because I have, since traveling and since hearing things like Norma's been talking about, I become very, very freaked out about the things that could come into my home or whatever, and I always make sure I have guest towels for people so that they're not using my towels. And I don't know, I've become. Do you find that your clients are like that? Are they neater and cleaner after you've been in? Do you train them?
Well, it depends how often the cleaning is. Some people that are, I guess, more clean freaks, they like to have their cleaning maybe once a week, or we have very flexible plans that we even come every day in the buildings that we work with. So it really depends on the lifestyle that people like. I like to go to work and leave my bed unmade and coming back home and having my bed made. So,
Yeah.
But somebody else doesn't really care about that. So.
How many people here clean up before the cleaning people come?
I am the cleaning people.
So you need to have the kids cleaning up.
Absolutely.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I do. So what do you recommend if I can't hire your cleaning service? What vacuum is the best vacuum to have in the home?
We recommend something that is water-based instead of the dry vacuum, because dry vacuum, and it doesn't really matter if it's a $100 vacuum or it's a $3,000 vacuum, they all work with the same methodology. The air must come in, the dust must stay inside the vacuum, and the air must come out. But it doesn't really matter what kind of filter you have on the vacuum, whether it's a HEPA filter or a regular filter, or if it's a bag or a canister, you will still have the particles, the dust particles come out, and that's what people are most allergic to.
And how often do you change the water?
It doesn't really matter how often you change the water. You can change because wet dust cannot fly, and it stays, the dust mites, they stay in the water.
Oh,
but as
God.
long as the water is liquid, we can work, right? So we change the water obviously every cleaning, sometimes 2 or 3 times during the cleaning, because sometimes the water gets really muggy and there's a lot of dust and sand
I
inside.
am picturing it. Believe me.
So, but it's that's the beauty of this method, is that it's 100% efficiency from second one to the time that you finish cleaning, because there's no pores to be clogged,
Right.
and it just works the same way. The efficiency is the same.
Now you had a question for Matt. earlier.
Yeah, I was wondering if you find yourself sneezing more when you start vacuuming?
I don't, but I do notice that my eyes start to burn a little bit
That's-
when I do run the
That's
vacuum.
exactly why.
So a question for you though,
Sure.
if the water-based vacuum is just out of the price range of a normal consumer for home use, what would be your suggestion? A vacuum with a bag or a canister one?
Doesn't
Clean it out every single time?
Right. Yeah. It doesn't really matter whether it's a canister. It's I guess it depends on what you're most. Well, with bags, you have to change the bags all the time, right? So you have to go to the store, buy the bags. I guess it's more high maintenance, but you still have to change the filter. But if you clean the filter, especially if you clean it with water, you don't have to change it as much.
Okay.
Okay, so now we know we got to get our vacuum cleaners either cleaned after every use, or
Absolutely.
we have to switch our methodology, so to
Absolutely.
speak. So final tips for people. Now, Matt, we'll start with you. Final tip for our audience.
Just stay on top of it. Don't do a spring cleaning and then a winter cleaning. Just stay on top of it.
And what if you have kids? Really, what are some of the things you've made your kids start to do?
From an early age, the more they do, the less I have to do. So they fold their own laundry, take their shoes off, wash their hands, put their toys away for the majority of the time, but they are still kids.
And you realize that can be done, people. That can be done. Norma, how about you?
I would say don't get paranoid about things because you can really go there with bed bugs and other things. Just do what you can and make it routine, the cleanup routine. It just becomes a part of your everyday experience, whether you're traveling or at home, and it makes it easy once it's routine.
Perfect. Boris?
Speaking about routine, that's a great point, actually. When you're cleaning, when you find a day to clean, have a routine in which way you clean. So start with your bathroom, in the kitchen, then go to the living areas. And when you're in each room, go top to bottom, left to right. So you don't miss anything and you get everything done.
Wow, really great advice. I have learned so much today. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you all for all of your information, some of which I really wish I didn't know right now. And for all of you home in your clean homes, thank you for joining us. For more information on what you've seen on today's show, please visit Store Brands USA, the channel here on YouTube, or go to storebrandsusa.com for shopping information, recipe ideas, and more. I'm Jody Daly, and I can't stop thinking about bed bugs and dust mites, but please come back for a cleaner edition of Let's Talk.